Hey, how you doing? It's Hoopy, your host of Dem Brothers from Inglewood podcast, coming to you live and direct once again. I'd first like to begin by saying Happy Memorial Day, and I'd like to pay homage to those who have served and sacrificed not only for this great nation, but nations abroad, all over the universe. I want to say thank you. I am so grateful for the opportunities that have been provided through legislation and through your service. And to those, I'd like to give deference to the current people that are serving in the U.S. Armed Forces, such as the Marines, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. I want to say thank you for your service, and I am truly grateful for everything that you are doing for this nation and in countries on foreign soil. It's very interesting. Before I really talk about the subject that I really felt led to discuss, I want to say thank you to the Coalesce Group for all that you're doing on the national and international levels with youth and those that are trying to expose themselves through education and vocation. I just want to say thank you for allowing us to partner with you and be a part of this great community. To Christian Camille and the great work that you're doing through the clothing line and addressing young girls and young women to build their self-esteem and to also bring them into their gifts and their talents that they may develop and be effective in society. Thank you so much for Fruit Off the Vine and all that you're doing. Well, I just wanted to come on really quick and share some of my thoughts. I just kind of woke up this morning and I was so grateful and thankful for just being alive, being able to inhale and exhale. I'm thankful for life, health, and strength, and just the activities of my limbs. I'm not putting down anyone else who may have health challenges or anything like that, but I'm just truly grateful. And then I started to really think about and meditate on this day that we're celebrating in remembrance and commemoration of those who have served and are serving in armed forces. I thought that I would go a little bit deeper than just the armed forces, not downplaying it, because I have two grandfathers and an uncle who served in the war. My two grandparents served in the Korean War, and then my uncle served in Vietnam. So I am very sensitive and appreciative for the service that these men rendered, and also friends and relatives and associates that I've learned who has also served for many years. I have a spiritual father, Bishop McLean, that's down in the Carolinas, and he served 20 years as a Marine. And what a great service that he has provided. I have a really, really close childhood friend who actually transitioned in death about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And he also gave 19 years in the Army, the U.S. Army. And so it is a very, very sensitive time of the year, but I think that we should concentrate or remember those on a regular basis. So what is my real topic and my reason for coming on today is simply to talk about what is a memorial and what is that memorial in our life. Do we have something that we can reflect on as a memorial? So when I began to think about today, as the focus and emphasis is really on those who served in the armed forces, the four branches here in the United States, I wanted to kind of think about some of the things that happened and are happening in our lives. And what does that really entail? What does that really mean to us moving forward? So my first illustration is probably personal. It's from a close place and proximity in my life, which I can recall, so vividly. What is that thing? I just think that when we begin to look in our lives, and I'm not suggesting that we dwell on the past, I'm not suggesting that we live in yesterday. I am saying that we should have a serious memorial or something that is memorable in our lives that we can reflect on. And that thing should really propel us and push us forward to achieve and to succeed in our present state, right? So when I think of Memorial Day, I do think of those who have served in armed forces, but I also think about the monumental things in my life, hurdles and obstacles that I had to get over. I had to jump. I had to climb mountains in my life. And some of those things have been so significant to where when I reflect on them, it actually motivates me and it inspires me to do better or to achieve more. And so some may deal with a loss of a loved one. Some may deal with a career that they once had. Some may deal with a physical challenge, an injury that scarred them or actually changed the course of their lives. And whatever that situation might be and circumstance is, it can be a memorial in our life. And I think that when I start to look at the things that I came through, and I didn't come through these things alone. I didn't come through these things in and of myself, but I had help. I had support. I had people that came into my life, that are in my life, to help me champion some of those things. So my question to you today is, what is truly the memorial in your life? And I could go into a lot of biblical support and reference information, but I just really want to deal with the practical application of what we face on a regular basis. What has positioned us or repositioned us that we can call a turning point in our life? Relationships, friendships, marriages, spouses, siblings, parents, relatives, friends. What is that memorial in your life? What significant thing has taken place in your life that causes you to remember and move forward in a positive way? Some of us are actually stuck. We're in a place and position to where we have not overcome. It has turned into a huge hurdle. Some of us are in denial. Some of us are playing the blame game, and we're bitter, we're upset, we're mad, we're angry. We have all these mixed emotions because of what has taken place in our lives. So we point the finger and we look for excuses or explanations as to why we haven't moved forward. So Memorial Day to me means more than just those who sacrificed their lives and given their service and have lent their emotions and their inner affections to protecting their nations. I'm not downplaying that. Please believe me. I don't know what it's like to be in the service, the armed forces. I don't know what it's like to have to endure confrontation and conflict through war. I don't know what Desert Storm was like. I don't know what Vietnam is like. And I'm not downplaying it whatsoever. I even look at those who have given their lives to this cause, and I see how the veterans are treated, neglected, not so much made to be a priority. And that is a serious reflection of what our nation, our government, think about those who served and are serving. I'm totally on the outside looking in, but as I forestated, my grandfathers served. My uncle, who is presently and currently living, is a Vietnam veteran, and he's had a productive life. He's had a career. He's now retired. He's a homeowner. He's not outdoors. He's not famished and lacking food, clothing, and shelter, obviously. But at the end of the day, I believe he has a legitimate gripe as it relates to how our government think towards us and what efforts or what they failed to do in response to their serving. So without really unpacking how a Vietnam vet or a Army, Air Force, Marine, Navy veteran feels, I can just truly say that as I've given that illustration and example, I'm looking into my own life and I'm depicting what is a memorial for me. What did I leave? What has been left behind in regards to being a memorial in my life? And I can truly say that some situations left me in a conundrum. Some situations left me baffled. Some situations stifled me. Some situations set me back. Some situations became a hardship. And I have decided to make a memorial of some of those past occurrences in order to move forward and be inspired while doing so. What are you saying? I'm saying that I wrote my first book and published it, and we're doing some fine tuning to it before we launch it. I would say relaunch it, because I had to do some significant editing to it. But I talked about my life. It's an autobiography, and it really entails the challenges that I had to overcome through the course of my 56 years of living. And when I think of Memorial Day, I think about those things that I had to endure, that I had to experience in order to get to that place of liberty, that place of freedom, that place of growth. I had to use those things as fuel to overcome and to reflect on those things in a way to where I can look back on those things and know that I am whole, that I'm not hanging on to anything. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not bitter. I'm not mad because of what I had to go through. And so today, I my question really to you is, what is that memorial in your life? What's transpired that has caused you to either stop, quit, throw in the towel, step up your game, move in a different way, succeed. Some of us may have missed opportunities or what we perceived as opportunities in the past, and we went back to school. We went to get our high school diploma. We went to get our degree from junior college. We moved on. We went to major college. We got a degree from a 4-year accredited school. We went and achieved that master's. Some of us have been complacent, and we've had our bachelor's degree for 20 years, 30 years, and we decided, hey, I'm gonna go back. I want to go for the doctorate. And so something had to cause us to move forward in a positive way because of situations that occurred in our lives. Some situations occurred by our own decisions, whether they were poor or questionable. Others just took place because God allowed it. Some things happened because of the will of God, and some may say, well, hey, I don't believe in God, and that's fine. However, nothing happens through happenstance. Everything that transpires for a reason. And so when I think of this topic of, what is a memorial in our life, or what is a memorial to me, I challenge you to go a little bit deeper, see what has encouraged you or discouraged you from moving forward. Are you stuck? Are you at peace? Are you living in freedom? Do you have the liberty that you so desire? And if so, why? How did you get there? What was that freedom like? What was, were you ever in bondage? Was that a turning point, a tipping point in your life? And these are important questions that I had to ask myself when I lifted my eyes this morning to start my day. I said, I contemplated this. What would I say? Do I prepare an outline? Do I go into the depthness of, what does it mean to make a memorial? What does the word memorial mean? Does it derive from memory? And I could have broke it down and did some academic stuff, but I think this is hands-on, practical, logical, in the form of a question, asking, what is that memorial in your life? And we should not just look at Memorial Day as a day to barbecue and make potato salad and invite our family and friends over and play wonderful music and watch games and, play games and, just get together and chit chat. That's cool, but I think Memorial Day is much, much greater and much more important than that. We do remember the soldiers and the leaders that put their lives on the line, those who have lost their lives in war, in combat, those who strategically stand for the United States to keep this country safe from intruders, from those that encroach this nation and the boundaries that separate us from other countries. I just take my hat off to them, and I also ask you, those that are viewing, those that are listening, what is that significant thing in your life that you reflect on, that you go back to when the chips are down? Is there anything in your life that you remember that motivates you to press on, to keep going? It could be a grandparent. It could be a parent. It could be a mentor. It can actually be a teacher or an associate, a friend, a spouse. it can be just about anything that's important to you moving forward. Some people look at a financial crisis as a reason to never experience that thing again. They are challenged, they were challenged in a way to where they never want to go back to that experience. I know a few people and have known them over the years who have expressed verbally, I was once poverty stricken. I've been down financially. I've been actually broke, poor. And now that I have a good career, I've made some investments, I've stabilized myself in a financial way to where I don't want to go back to where I used to be. And so that also is a memorial. I placed my reality, I don't want to say that it was just a negative experience. And yes, it doesn't feel good. So when we are not feeling good, or we look at a situation that's not so much peaceful or exciting, we call it negative. But I've learned that we learn and we grow and we get better through negative experiences. There are things that we have actually just proved to ourselves that overcoming this has led me to become a better person. I've become more patient. I've become more sensitive. I have more empathy. I have more affection and concern for those that are facing challenges. So Memorial Day to me is more than just concentrating on the four branches and even law enforcement throughout America, whether it's special task force agencies, and we know we have quite a few. We have the FBI agency, we have the CIA agency, we have many, agencies that serve and protect and gather intel to keep our nation safe. And I commend those that are serving in that capacity. I commend all who are actually a part of service. I can go into religious circles, and I appreciate clergymen. I appreciate those who are in the medical field and in those industries to keep us healthy. There's so much to be thankful for. There's so much to remember as a memorial in our lives. I believe God has given us multiple tools, diverse gifts that aid us in life, because nobody's an island. No one has gotten here in and of themselves, but we are asked to do maintenance on our own lives, and with the help of God, he sends people into our lives to aid us along the way. And so I just wanted to come on real quick and talk about the importance of May 29th, 2023, Memorial Day, and pay homage and give deference to those who have helped us reach this point of success, this point of liberty. And so with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, for sharing with us. I'm going to ask if you would do this for me, please. If you would like, subscribe, and share this platform, Dem Brothers from Inglewood podcast, as we move forward to bring you content that's solid, content that's viable, and I believe beneficial as we discuss these different topics, just like today. And so without further ado and without prolonging this broadcast, I want to say again, I appreciate the Coalesce Group. I appreciate Fruit Off the Vine. I appreciate all of you who have served and are serving not just the United States, but on foreign soil in other parts of the universe. Now, some people would say, well, if you knew some of the regimes that are taking place, some that are unrighteous, some that are demonstrative, some that are just wicked, why would you appreciate them? Why would you pay homage to them? Well, I do not condone wrong. I don't condone things that are unjust. I'm just grateful for those who have and are serving for the just cause, the righteous cause, because guns, bombs, and all of these defensive materials, they don't kill people. People kill people. And so if we're going to look at it holistically, we want to pray for those that are in leadership and who has the authority to make the decisions and do the work, that they will do it with a just attitude and mentality and not something malicious and demonstrative. Thank you so much for bearing with us. Dem Brothers from Inglewood podcast. We're going to bring this car to a stop, and hopefully we will be able to chat really soon as we get ready to do a live in the coming days. Thank you so much. We're signing off. I'm Hoopy, once again, your host of Dem Brothers from Inglewood podcast. Take care. Peace.